Let's talk about the collapse of civilization. My name's John Kiper, and I'm running for governor of New Hampshire. So, this is a really interesting story that I feel like went really underreported in the media. In 1972, MIT had the world's best computers at the time. These were massive computers. And they used those computers. They said, hey, when will society collapse? They put in all these different inputs, population and pollution, environmental stuff, everything that they could, water, everything. And the computer came out with and said 2040, okay? And then recently, a couple years ago, another scientist at MIT said, hey, let's run those numbers again with today's computers. And they did it. And the scary thing was that the projections that the computers had made in 1972 were exactly aligned with current trends. And also what was scary is that the predictions made by the new computers was exactly the same 2040, roughly. So it's 2024. That means we have 16 years. 16 years. And are the leadership of our state and our country, running around going, oh, we got to solve this problem. We've got to get things on the right trajectory so that society doesn't collapse. No. But guess what? Mark Zuckerberg and all the other rich people, they're out building bunkers, fortified bunkers with fully off-the-grid electrical systems and water and food and everything. So they're preparing. Are you? Am I? Are we? Well, I think we should. And this is why I want to develop the New Hampshire Department of Sustainability and Regeneration. And the point of this department is to ensure that New Hampshire is sustainable and that we have regenerative agriculture practices that we can continue far into the future. Not the next 10 years, but the next 50, 100 years, 1,000 years. That's how I'm thinking. I want to ensure that my children's children are good to go in New Hampshire and can live and can thrive in a clean environment with a solid, stable housing and economy and everything that they need to live. And how do I think about this? The way that I like to think about it, just this is a bit of a thought experiment, but I like to think about what would New Hampshire, Maine, and Vermont need to survive all on our own. Let's say there was, let's say a zombie apocalypse outbreak in Boston, just, for instance. And so we had to close off the border and nothing could come up from Massachusetts or from the rest of the country, and we had to sustain ourselves completely alone, or, without inputs from the rest of the world. Would we have enough water, food, energy? Water, we're good. Energy, we're getting there. There's a lot of solar and sustainable energy projects coming online. Food, we're not even close. I think the last time I checked, New Hampshire raises maybe enough food to feed 10% of the population. So we need way more agriculture. So I want to see an agriculture boom in New Hampshire. And here's the tricky part. We need more housing and we need stronger agriculture. So we can't be building all our houses on our farms. We don't want to do that. That's why it's important that we build bigger buildings in downtown areas and don't allow urban sprawl to eat up all of our farms and fields that we're going to need in the future to feed our population. But, this is just a start of a conversation that I think all leaders in this country and in our world need to start having about, is our current practices sustainable and how do we get them on track to be sustainable? There's a lot of great people in the state working on this, but I do not hear enough people in key positions of leadership talking about this MIT prediction, because we would be, I think, probably the first civilization in history to have a full, what's that, 50-year head start. That we were warned in 1972 when society would collapse. I mean, Rome didn't get a head start like we're getting, so we should plan accordingly, okay? And we don't need to worry about the whole country, frankly. We don't need to worry about the whole world. We just need to worry about New Hampshire and Maine and Vermont, because I think us three states could really work together and create a really great sustainable community that will outlast even potentially the United States. That's my vision, okay? And that's what I'm working for, and that's what I'm fighting for, all right?